is the second generation of the Mercedes-AMG GT, codenamed C192. But this one is the track version, the GT63 Pro 4MATIC Plus, priced at rupees 4.45 crores on road Mumbai. You pay rupees 73 lakhs for registration and rupees 14 lakhs for the first year insurance of this car. To put into perspective, the Porsche 911 Carrera 4 GTS costs rupees 1.16 crores less, is faster, sharper, cooler. But you cannot underestimate Mercedes and AMG, because this is absolutely phenomenal, because for the price you get a lot of things as standard. When did that start happening? For starters, it actually gets the AMG exterior carbon package. You can see a lot of carbon fiber here as complimentary. Wow, that's not all. It also gets the AMG night package too as complimentary, and it also comes with the AMG aerodynamic package in the price of this car itself, so you don't have to pay for that, which is quite amazing. But what is the AMG aerodynamic package? Well, you know what? There's actually an underbody tray here which opens with a touch of a button to improve aerodynamic efficiency. So that is what I was talking about. Anyway, straight away, let's open the engine bay, and thankfully the fantastic 4-liter bi-turbo V8 engine has been retained here. Yes! And you get insulation here, different sort of insulation there. Nice engine cover, handcrafted, of course. The name of the person who has handcrafted it has been written there. And this engine bay is kind of full, but it's actually a very huge engine. Big engine bay, yet there's absolutely no space, because this is obviously a V8 engine, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at it, AMG branding here. You obviously get the Mercedes logo there. It heats a lot, obviously. Big fat V8 engines do heat quite a lot. Engine is pushed a bit towards the cabin, so yeah, the car is not nose heavy in that regard, which is good. Washer fluid goes in here, so you have to actually open it to access the washer fluid, where the battery is also given, and obviously you get gas struts as well. But I have been lying to you, because this is an AMG, so obviously lot of optional extras. For starters, it comes in 12 colors, out of which 5 are standard colors. You don't have to pay for that. Yes, but if you're buying a car so expensive and so exclusive, you'll obviously want something exclusive. So there are 3 manufacturer colors, and there are 4 Magno colors, and this is actually the Spectral Blue Magno, which costs rupees 9.5 lakhs. Not the most expensive color option, because that happens to be obviously the Green Hell Magno, which costs rupees 11.5 lakhs. What is Magno? Magno is actually a matte shade which scatters light and does not reflect it. So yeah, that's a bit different. In terms of the design language, it's an evolutionary design change. It's not a revolutionary one. So yeah, the car has evolved from the previous generation model. So yes, you get the massively long bonnet, Pan Americana grille, the huge Mercedes logo behind which the radar is there for ADAS. Front parking camera here, obviously the AMG logo right there, and huge openings on the grille so that it can breathe better. You get this splitter here, carbon fiber of course, and you get 6 parking sensors, because this car has obviously got self-park. Indicator functioning here at the moment, however, that is actually the DRL. So when you unlock the vehicle, the DRL turns on. No light show animation here as such. It is the digital light with blue tinges on the inside, and when you turn on the high beam also, both of them actually work. So I think this is not on, I don't know, I can't really see, it's so freaking bright. It says AMG right here, lot of carbon fiber right there, and obviously you get this thing as well, finished in gloss black, which is, I think, what do you call that? So that's the splitter. Maybe you can call it the front skirt or something of that sort. Now in terms of size, it is longer, wider, taller, and has a longer wheelbase too. So it's grown in almost every dimension, not almost, definitely in all dimensions. So it's actually longer by 182 mm. So the length is 4.7 meters, slightly more than 4.7 meters. The wheelbase is longer by 70 mm, which is 2.7 meters. The height has increased by 66 mm, and it's wider by 45 mm. Yeah, almost 2 meters in terms of width, which is absolutely crazy. Looks very much gorgeous, and because this is the Pro model, it gets carbon ceramic discs as standard. The disc size is massive. Front one's 420 mm, and this is actually, to put it into inches, 16.54 inches, which is bigger than the size of a Baleno's tire. Just the brakes of this car, which is quite amazing. The front tire is 295/30/21. In fact, these alloys look phenomenal. Now, standard they come in grey color. If you want them finished in black, you have to pay rupees 5.5 lakhs more. If you want to get them finished in this golden shade, you have to pay rupees 6.2 lakhs more. So yeah, optional extras on this car are in plenty. V8 bi-turbo 4MATIC Plus has been written here. But what is this fake treatment? Obviously, you get lane keep assist cameras there, rain sensor, and a dash cam as well for traffic light camera view and all that. Carbon fiber package means you get carbon fiber mirrors here, carbon fiber exterior package actually, and because it has the AMG night package too, This door handle which slides in and out, which says Mercedes-Benz here, it also illuminates at night. It actually is finished in dark chrome. Yeah, that is quite fantastic. Okay, it's turn off the car. It's gone inside and turn off the car. You can see the side skirt here. Ground clearance doesn't seem adequate enough, but it has the front lift function which raises the nose. By 30 mm and drops it automatically at speed. Press a button and that happens as well. Obviously from the side it looks very much like an AMG GT with this sloping roofline, coupe type design because it's a coupe obviously, and a huge long bonnet. In fact, the driver now sits 200 mm further ahead. Yeah, with the previous generation model, the driver was sitting in the boot obviously, almost I mean, not obviously. Anyways, the design is absolutely stunning. What a beautiful car, and because this is a Mercedes, you get a lot of Mercedes bits, like it says Mercedes here, yeah, the signature, and it obviously projects from here AMG on the floor. That's quite nice. And here is where you get, no, car is locked, it's not going to unlock, so I just have to slide this like that smoothly. And beautiful finishing here on the fuel filler cap as well. Let's look at the key of the vehicle, which is the usual Mercedes key. Unlock the car, open the boot, and this is to lock the car. It says AMG here. Nice and heavy key. We should get a screen there also now. Anyways, the rear tire is obviously bigger in terms of size. Same profile, same size as well, but 305, so 10 mm bigger. Yeah, that is because this is 4MATIC now, so it doesn't really need much bigger rear tire as such. Carbon ceramic brakes, obviously, carbon ceramic disc. This size is actually 360 mm, which is 14.2 inches, again huge in terms of size. Now because this is obviously the Pro model, it gets Michelin Pilot Sport Cup tires, because of which it will give you way better grip and be faster as well. We'll talk about that when we're driving the car. Look at the width of this. What is this fake treatment here? Absolutely not needed. 6 parking sensors here. Now this is a fixed wing, carbon fiber wing, but I think the GT63 non-Pro model gets an adjustable wing from inside. You can adjust it into 5 positions. You know what's the biggest thing about this car? The big deal? Well, it has become a 2+2 seater. The earlier model was a 2-seater. This has become a 4-seater, 2+2. However, this is the Pro model, so it's only a 2-seater. What am I even saying? Why am I confusing you guys? Well, you know what? The cabin is actually bigger now and there's more glass area as well. So Mercedes is like, now we are not making it track focused, we are making it more of a GT car in that sense. From the rear, you can see it's really very, very, very wide. Looks absolutely stunning. Mercedes logo obviously finished in dark chrome. Brake lights have a nice animation when you unlock or lock the vehicle. Says AMG here, AMG branding has been given. Now here, there's something different because rear fog is only on one side, but reverse lights are on both the sides. You get this diffuser treatment, you get quad freaking exhaust, and that is the reflector, 6 parking sensors for self park, and the camera actually pops out from here in typical Mercedes fashion. Straight away, let's open the boot, which has become bigger at 321 liters, and if you fold this, then it becomes 675 liters. And the hybrid version, which is the fastest version, has a much smaller boot, I think 180 or whatever liters, I don't even remember, I'll put it on the screen right away. Anyways, this boot is completely useless because there's a spare wheel which has been positioned right on top. So Michelin tires on this car, but this spare wheel is actually not Michelin, it's Vredestian. Tire size 185, 55, 20. Alloy wheel design is also different here, but yeah, this completely ruins the boot of the vehicle. Speaker placement here, light placement here, and then you obviously get a net here, hook, and 12-volt charging socket as well. Another net. This is the, I think, jack and all that has been given here because the warning triangle is right there. Okay, yeah, all the toolkits have been placed in this box nicely. In fact, there's no space inside, so that's the reason why the first aid kit, which is actually quite premium, has been placed in the boot. Yeah, very premium first aid kit. I quite like it. And what is this? It's actually an additional fuel cap, and this is definitely not of this car, but it says AMG on it. I don't understand the logic. You get a parcel shelf here, and obviously this is powered, so I press a button and there it shuts, nice and smooth. No rear wiper washer, obviously it doesn't need it because it is a coupe at the end of the day. So in terms of design, absolutely scintillating design, lovely. I don't know why the car keeps locking itself all the time, so let's unlock here and let me show you more optional extras on this car so all of us can feel poor together. You see this carbon fiber treatment here as well as here. That costs rupees 3.65 lakhs because standard it comes with aluminium trim, which is also quite premium to be honest. and this also illuminates at night, which is nice. The glove box is quite useless. It's not cool. It does get a pen holder, it gets a light as well, but yeah, it's small size, but you can lock the glove box if you want. Doors open really wide. This white is going to get very dirty very soon. You have 5 Napa leather options from which you can choose from, which cost rupees 3.25 lakhs. However, you can also get Alcantara. I think they're calling it microfiber microcut, which, or microcut microfiber, which cost rupees 2.75 lakhs. Let's get into the rear. Well, yeah, it's quite useless as such because this is actually a 2+2, so no seats here at the rear. Otherwise, you get 2 seats for children or aliens, or probably Batman would like to sit there. Batman would be, oh my god, Batman got hurt, Batman got hurt. So let's put Batman here. He's getting camouflaged. He's got a bit of dirt on his face. Go use some face wash, bro. Anyways, you get yellow color seat belts. Pre-save obviously is there, which will automatically be able to prepare the car for a crash in case it senses a crash is going to happen. It even rolls down the window. Pre-save rolls down the window so that you don't get suffocated inside. So a lot of crazy technology by Mercedes-Benz. Yellow seat belts increase the horsepower by 1.3 HP, and you get a net here, but obviously I can't sit there because this is not a seat. Now you can see there are a lot of speakers in this car. Why? Clearly because this car has a fantastic Burmester sound system, 3D sound system, 1170 watt output, and it has got 15 speakers as well. Listen to it. Now that was absolutely fantastic. There's obviously no magazine holder here, but you do not even get the tickling function because there's actually a net here. So AMG performance seats are standard in this car. Yes, AMG performance seats are standard, no soft close doors, so you have to take effort to close the door, and there it closes. So in terms of features and all, the typical Mercedes affair, because this is actually based on the SL55's platform, but Mercedes is like, we designed both the cars very separately. So yeah, features are quite common here. You get the same screens and all those things. Thankfully, there is no third screen here. It has got 8 airbags. So airbag here, there's a knee airbag for the driver. But the problem is that the door pockets are small, that a bottle does not fit in here. That is obviously to open the boot. Fitting a bottle here is very difficult. Carbon fiber treatment, obviously touch sensitive buttons to adjust the outside rear view mirrors. And if you notice here, yeah, a lot of gloss black finishing, and here you actually get seat heating and seat ventilation, and you can also adjust the co-passenger seat from here by pressing this button. 3 memory functions as well, says Burmester right there. In fact, if you opt for the microfiber micro cut, you do not get climatization, wherein no seat heating, no seat ventilation. So Alcantara finish if you want, you have to compromise somewhere at least. Now this is actually the control for the headlight, and this is the electric parking brake of the vehicle. Turbine style air conditioning vents, which look fantastic, and the car turned off. I don't know why, but I'll turn it on right away. So here, whenever you turn on the car, it obviously has the AMG branding here. It does a welcome here as well, and the car is boiling, and so am I. Straight away, let's use the memory function because I've saved things. And there you notice the steering is going inside, the seat is moving as well, and the under-thigh support is extending all the way. Yes, adjustable under-thigh support, and it extends by quite a lot. So tall passengers are also very comfortable. In fact, the seats are also very comfortable, and when you get into sportier modes now, this bolster becomes like, it pulls you inside to support you as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Dashboard is amazing. Quality levels are phenomenal here. You get a glass here. This can't open because if it opens, where will it go? So it obviously has a moonroof, not a sunroof. So I first sat in the car and I'm like, why is this not opening? Because there is no mechanism here. Instead, you have to do it manually. Yeah, it brings in a lot of airy feeling, but yeah, nah, it's very hot right now. Here you get a microphone both sides, and there is no light here, but surprising, it seems that there is some electric connection here, and then this also extends so you can block the sun and your jealous neighbors as well. Auto dimming mirror, obviously. Let's shut the door. Firstly, when I roll down the windows, I love the frameless doors. The car looks $1 million with the doors open, with the windows down. Phenomenal. And obviously speakers have been placed on the dashboard, on the doors, everywhere, you name it, there are speakers as well. There's some storage space here with 2 USB-C charging sockets which are illuminated. There's some light here as well. And this is just to keep your hand. So this is no longer the controller here. Says AMG here, gloss black finishing right there. And there are twin cup holders, a wireless charging pad which is so deep inside that I can't show you a Porsche 911 GTS on my phone today. 2 USB-C charging sockets, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, both are wireless. It's telling me it needs to update some software because it has connected car. This is an 11.9 inch screen. This does not move ahead or behind like in the case of the SL55. It works in the SL55 in terms of movement only because when the roof down, the sun reflection could make it really difficult to see. So obviously that is not there. You have got inbuilt navigation, really amazing maps, Obviously all the audio media and all those things are there. MB apps don't have any games. That's how a car should be. Then in comfort, obviously you have seat kinetics, no seat massage, but you have seat kinetics. You can obviously alter the seat bolsters from here. You can also get your seat adjustment done by inputting your height, which is something which is there in almost all Mercedes cars. Lot of ambient light options, but in monochrome you have 64 freaking colors. Again, Mercedes does one of the best ambient lighting, but it should have the active ambient lighting at this price. Let's come to the home screen. There's something known as AMG Performance, which I will use when driving the car, wherein you can see a lot of data, and obviously it has the IWC clock because they are Mercedes' sponsor now in Formula 1, and Mercedes is doing really well in Formula 1, which really upsets me because I love Red Bull. Here you get notifications from the top. Then there's something known as track pace, which lets you configure the car for a track, and it automatically changes the instrument cluster mode as well. And obviously you can log in data. You can also come into this track pace thing, and then you can go for a drag race to time this car. Band ho ja bhai. Yeah, so you can just roll off to see how fast the car is in terms of acceleration, and then it gives you telemetry as well. So yeah, it's a very, very nice system here. And then in settings, you get all the freaking settings for ADAS as well as for the vehicle. You can configure the drive modes and all those things. Everything is in the screen, but you've got some physical buttons. This panel always moves. No matter which Mercedes model, it always moves. So this could have been done better. This is the AMG menu, which actually lets you configure a lot of things, which I'll talk more when driving the car. Thankfully, the AC controls are always active. So dual zone climate control, air conditioning. The air conditioning is a chiller. Yeah, works fantastically well. And you know what, just press this button so that you can raise the vehicle level. You can turn on attention assist, you can turn on the heads up display. Yeah, there's a heads up display there which has got multiple modes as well, and you can save the GPS position where you want the car to lift. Again, active steering assist, all those things, you can do everything from there. Which brings me to the parking camera of the vehicle, which is a 360-degree parking camera but doesn't show the moonroof here. It's absolutely fantastic, the camera, but the screen is heating a lot because it's so damn freaking hot. Let me come into reverse straight away, and this is the reverse parking camera. It has obviously got guidelines, and as soon as I come into front or forward, there I can see the front camera as well, which also has got the adaptive guidelines. And then I'll just come into the camera again. Yeah, what am I doing? Why am I getting so confused? Here I can, make changes. Yeah, superb. Then there's parking assist, self park, I was already telling you about that, and memory parking assist, which is very similar to BMW's reversing assistant. So you can record your path and then the car will replay it, so the car definitely remembers. Microfiber, microfiber, whatever it is called, it is there on the steering wheel as well. And then you have got, I don't know how many spokes, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, 5 spoke steering wheel, probably carbon fiber finish. No, it has flat bottom treatment, obviously. AMG branding there. The horn is okay. Yeah, it's actually loud, it's very good. And this is obviously the paddle shifters, or are the paddle shifters, which are finished in metal. Gear selector, and this is the control for the headlights as well as, for high beam, low beam, and obviously for the wiper control as well. In fact, the best thing about this car is that you don't have to rely on the screen at all. You know why? Because you can do a lot of things from these things itself. So from here you can obviously change the drive modes. So there are multiple drive modes, a lot of drive modes in this car, but beyond that you can make changes from here. So right now I've put the active aero function here, so I can just activate it from here, and this is for the nose lift function. But I can configure so many things from here. Almost every setting can be configured from here. I am not kidding. I can even configure to activate the front camera. Yes, that can be configured. Then obviously track pace and a lot of things can be done, but I think it's limited to only a few. So turning on and off the heads up display. What is this? This is for the telemetry, I believe. Load ho ja bhai, panvel nikalna hai. Yeah, there it is, the engine data loads. So everything can be done from here itself, which is fantastic. What does this do? I don't know. Let me press this button. Okay, seat kinetics. I can turn on the seat kinetics from here, which is fantastic, that the sort of massage is actually activated from here, but you have to obviously configure it. How do you configure all these things? It's simple. You come into this car menu, and I was in the wrong menu, I believe. You come in the AMG menu at least, then there's settings select, and there you can configure what all you want, and then you can add and delete a few things. So almost everything under the sun can be done from this particular controller, which is fantastic. But I don't like this touch sensitive controls on the steering wheel, just don't work well for me. And obviously you get like soft material here, so a lot of leather almost everywhere in this car. And you get touch sensitive buttons here for the light. Just touch the light to activate that as well. However, this is a 12.3 inch screen, which is actually amazing because you have got multiple modes here, a lot of modes. The usual mode, there's 7 of them, but my personal favorite is obviously the classic one. And then obviously I can change the multi-information display because there's a lot of data right there. I will drive the car in multiple drive modes, or rather multiple cluster modes, so that you can see all this. The only thing is, because it's a touch sensitive input, it's not the easiest to operate. But I know Mercedes is going to make a hyper screen in the next generation model, end to end, and there's going to be a third screen here, which is something I'm not really looking forward to at all. Now this is inside this binnacle, which means that it's easier to see as well and looks quite sporty too. And then I can make multiple changes to the heads-up display, and there are a lot of them. There's a super sport, there's a race, and there's a track pace one as well. So yeah, very loaded car in terms of what all you can see. There's a full navigation menu, there's also a full assistance menu, and in case you are the person who always worries about what's the maintenance of the car, you can come into the service menu to make sure that you are keeping an eye or if anything is going wrong or not. And obviously the steering feels nice too. Look at this, okay, you can turn the steering lock to lock so effortlessly. Why is the steering so light? Well, because there are multiple modes which alter the steering. Obviously, engine start button, stop start button. You can see the ambient lighting there. There's some gapping here, which is probably just to hide your cache. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic the way everything has been done in this car. Just next level. And let me just turn off the vehicle, and as soon as I do that and I open the door, well, it gives me a goodbye there. The screen also turns off. I don't know why it's saying residual heat. What does that mean? And obviously when I increase the temperature, the AC vents become red. When I decrease it, the AC vents become blue. So that also happens. Says airbag here. Beautiful finishing almost everywhere, but don't opt for this color because this is a very light color. It's going to get dirty real soon. It says ISOFIX. Yeah, ISOFIX child seat mounts, because if you have children or a kid or a toddler or an infant, there's no way you can seat them there, because this car doesn't have seats only in the rear, and there is actually a hook here so that in case you don't have an Activa and you still want to go and buy Subzi, you can do that by hanging your Subzi plastic there. Anyways, let me get out of the car, and straight away let me tell you that they put this AMG branding here. I don't know why, but they have done that as well. The doors are actually long, yeah, really long, and I press a button and I'm going to roll up the window. The mirror obviously closed and the window also rolled up, so you can roll up and down the window using this button, and nothing else opens from there. I mean from the key itself. So as I see it, evolutionary design change, much more polished, and the whole focus of this car has changed from being a track car to being a GT car. But this is track focus, so there's a lot of confusion as what is exactly happening here. Anyways, let's give it the beans right away. Alright, let's start driving. We turn on the car. Yeah, it rose to life, revving up to just 1500 RPM. Audio system turns on automatically. That's a weird thing, or maybe, I don't know. Hey Mercedes, that thing got activated actually. Anyways, I don't want to talk to you. Voice commands there, and obviously nose lift has been activated. Straight away I'm going to put navigation to some random place. So let's see where we can go. I'm going to search for a fuel station, which should be as far as possible. There we go, 6.7 kilometers. Let's go. Start. Yeah, voice is shut here, and straight away air conditioning off, hazard lights off, into drive, and off we go. All very smooth and nice. By the way, there are 4 interior color options here, and I'm straight away going to use the wipers. Lot of spray, like crazy amount of spray here. Nice wipers as well. However, does not have the intense cleaning function. I'm just going to use this amazing trick to clean the wipers. This is known as intense cleaning, and look at it. This is actually known as intensive cleaning, not intense cleaning. And oh, look at this, amazing. It has got AR navigation, so you can obviously see all that in the cluster as well if you want, but I'm just going to set this to the race one. Yeah, it's not very easy to operate with these touch sensitive buttons. I don't like it. The brake and accelerator pedal also nice. They have this rubber on it so that, you know, there's a good amount of grip when you're driving the car really fast. And if you notice right now, yes, at 40 kilometers per hour, it automatically drops the ride height. Thankfully, I've slowed down the car, so it did not drop the ride height, because that 30 mm lift at the front axle is extremely crucial to be able to drive this car. So yeah, beautiful navigation. Looks so amazing how it activates like this. BMW and Mercedes do something which is very similar. I don't know why. Both of these car brands are like, you know, whatever you do, I will do that as well. Oh, there is a, what is there? There is a 12 volt charging socket here. Somehow I didn't notice that. Many brands are not offering that 12 volt charging socket anymore at the front, but Mercedes is doing it. That's kind of interesting. So you have to be a bit careful over speed breakers. Now I'll lift the nose quickly, and I think I should save the GPS position, but I'll be on the other side when I come back here. So it has obviously got ADAS. Unfortunately, when you turn off forward collision warning, it does not turn off. I mean, it turns off temporarily and it turns back on every time you turn the car back on. So that's a bit of a problem here. And in the boot, now when I was showing the spare wheel, below the spare wheel, there's actually a tray wherein you have a high visibility jacket, owner's manual, which is more than 500 pages big. That's huge. Well, that's what she said. And other few things like toolkits and stuff has been put right below there. So there's also a tire inflator, which is actually a good thing. And I have to really crawl here. Yeah, I have to be super careful. In fact, when you turn on the car, these pods also, they have a welcome animation. So again, a lot of these things we've seen on in other AMG models, including the fact that most Mercedes-Benz cars also have this feature wherein when you turn on the car, it has this nice light animation. So that's like the welcome feature. But I'm a bit disappointed. I have to turn around to take the seatbelt. It does not have a seatbelt feeder. At this price, I expect that. I expect the tweeters to rotate as well. That's not given here either. Yeah, I don't know why I'm driving in such a gully, but you get the drift. Parking sensors getting activated because obviously it's not an easy place to drive. A blind spot monitor is there, but I don't know why car brands are not giving, or luxury car brands are not giving a blind spot display that just alerts you if someone is in your blind spot. In fact, if I open the door now also, it will ring and tell me, oh, say someone in your blind spot. Be very careful. I've also noticed now that my knee touches these touch sensitive controls for the ventilation and heating, and then once that happens, then obviously I activate one of those features which I don't intend to do. And right now we are in comfort mode, and you could hear and sense the sound of the car because yes, it's aggressive. The engine is nice, but it's so easy to drive now. Somehow Mercedes has made it much more usable, this car now, and because it has got rear wheel steering, 2.5 degrees of tilt, not as much as in EQS which has 10 degrees. Taking a U-turn and all is actually very effortless. I don't have to reverse from here. I just managed to take a U-turn like that. That's quite amazing. Job well done. Straight away, let's come into race mode because that is what you guys want to hear now, isn't it? Now you don't feel the four-wheel driveness of this car. I don't even know what that means, but I basically wanted to, oh my god, the pops and cracks. I mean to say that it doesn't feel like a four-wheel drive car because rear bias power delivery and the front axle kicks in very subtly to make sure that power is being channeled without scaring you silly. And then I reach this place, so I have to obviously lift the nose of the vehicle. The thing is that the nose lift doesn't take time and it works smoothly and it doesn't heat up. In even 40 degrees of heat, I didn't face a single issue of doing up and down of the nose lift. They didn't even hesitate one bit, and that's what is Mercedes quality. Because in Land Rover cars, when I was doing it with the Defender Octa and all, after some point it's like the suspension needs to cool down. Here none of those problems are there, obviously, which is actually a very good thing. So just take it quite easy. Exhaust is mind-blowing. The pops and cracks, so satisfying. I have to really slow down. I love the camera. I love the quality of Mercedes cameras, and the UI and everything is so nice. Always having this air conditioning control below. So even though it is touch, which I'm a bit frustrated about, I mean the whole air conditioning control is in the touch screen, it's still quite easy to use and very nice to use as well. This guy's giving me a thumbs up, but I'm still thirsty. There's the AR navigation, and this Seltos guy has been kind enough to move aside so I can crawl through. But yeah, heart in mouth feeling when you're driving a car which costs this much money and then you have to crawl through from here. So now it's showing me the direction here. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Job well done, Mercedes. So this was just like a city sort of a run to give you an idea of how easy this car is to drive. It has got good amount of low end grunt. Obviously turbo lag is there, it takes time for the turbo to spool up, and once it does, oh my god, this car is another league altogether, which I will show you because we are going to go on a highway and just give it the beans. Gearbox also shifts very smoothly. Let's come into comfort mode again because somehow the suspension becomes more compliant. But even in comfort mode, you can feel the car is moving a bit. The road is not perfect, it's not bad, but you know, even small imperfections, and our best roads also have small imperfections, can be felt inside the cabin. That is how the ride quality is here. Right now I just moved this seat ahead. It says front left seat backrest not locked, so it gives me all those warnings as well. Hazard lights off, and off we go. Straight away I'm just going to come into the best mode, which is obviously race mode, and I'm also going to come into like performance data here, which shows me basically how is the engine functioning, because obviously it's the time to now give this car some beans. So yes, turning radius is short thanks to the rear wheel steering, and Oh my god, what an engine! What is this engine? Wow! Okay, cracks, pops, bucks. It is mental. And the sound is not actually from the engine, the sound is actually from the exhaust. So the exhaust is loud, the engine is a bit muted, but the exhaust is really very loud. Obviously, you have some fake sounds also coming in, which is the norm these days. So yeah, that also adds to the element, but you can obviously disable that, but the exhaust is really loud. The pops and cracks, unbelievable. So what do we have here? We have a 4-liter bi-turbo V8 engine known as the M177, which is just mind-blowing because firstly, it is hand-built, which is the AMG way of doing things. Power has increased in the Pro variant. Actually, power has not increased when, oh my god, I can feel everything here. It's so harsh. Yeah, the ride is really very harsh. So the thing is, this car was making 585 horsepower in the first generation model. It still makes the same output, still 800 Newton meters of torque. So power and torque hasn't increased in the regular AMG GT63, but in the Pro model, power has been bumped up by 27 horsepower, which is actually much needed. So 612 horsepower here, and torque output increased by 50 Newton meters. So 850 Newton meters of torque. The result is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes half a second faster because now it's able to put all that power down. Earlier it was not able to put that power down because it was rear wheel drive only. So this goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a claimed 3.1 second. The regular GT63 goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.2 seconds. So 0.1 second faster thanks to additional power and the better tires and all those things. But there's a problem here. It doesn't feel that fast. Why doesn't it feel that fast? Simply because now it's able to put all that power down very smoothly. So the chassis is able to manage everything. The 4-wheel drive system ensures that there is no loss of traction. In the older model, because of rear wheel drive, it felt like, oh my god, it is losing control when you're trying to give it the beans. That is not the case here. So the old model was slower but felt faster. This is faster but still kind of feels slower, which is weird. But top speed is a mind-blowing 317 kilometers per hour, which is like I think just 1 kilometers per hour, no, 2 kilometers per hour more than the regular GT63. In fact, 0 to 200 kilometers per hour comes up in 10.9 seconds, which is absolutely bonkers. Lift function has to be activated because the speed breaker has come. So it gets a 9-speed multi-clutch transmission, so dual clutch automatic gearbox, which is fast switch shift. So all the regular things you expect from Mercedes is there. Good handling, good steering wheel, good gearbox, good engine, good sound, everything is there, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Only thing is the ride is really harsh. The low profile tires don't help here at all. And this is not the fastest version of the AMG GT63. There's the E-Performance, which is a hybrid with a 6.1 kilowatt hour battery pack. That is absolutely bonkers because it has a top speed of 320 kilometers per hour and goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.8 seconds, which is actually faster than the AMG one as well. Okay, I can feel everything. I can't go fast over rumblers. Usually I just speed through here, but no, I just can't go faster over rumblers here. But you know, the GT63 4-door has the same powertrain as the GT63 2-door E-Performance. However, they are very different cars. But you know what is the real highlight? 26 horsepower less in the coupe model, yet it is bonkers fast because of hybrid assist. So it kind of feels like an electric car when driven in hybrid mode. And you can obviously give it the beans as well, but we are here to give this car the beans. So I want to first verify what is the acceleration time of this car, which means left foot on the brake. Now before just launching this car, I have a trick up my sleeve. For starters, I will come into this, press this button once, traction control, sport handling mode. I keep this button pressed completely off. I keep both the paddles pulled to myself and it says drift mode currently unavailable. So if it was activated, it would come into drift mode. I just have to click one of the paddles to just accept it, and then front axle disengages, and then I can do whatever I want. Anyways, I've turned off traction control, although it doesn't really make much of a difference. I am going to turn on the active aero extended. Yes, the underbody tray that has been activated. I come into performance and we will come into vehicle data here. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off. It's the time for the moment of truth. Launch control, race start. That's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.4 seconds. That's slow. Somehow it was not able to put all that power down, so I'm a bit disappointed. So we're going to try that again. I think I should turn on the traction control. There is no point turning it off because anyways, even with it on or off, there is absolutely no difference. This car behaves the exact same way. So here, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, race start. That's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.16 seconds. That's what I was talking about. And you know what? The acceleration is so brutal that Mercedes has programmed the seatbelt. It automatically holds you. It pulls you very fast as soon as you launch it aggressively. Yeah, that has been programmed here, which is unbelievable. Okay, there is something known as track pace. So we are going to come into track pace right now, because firstly, raise the ride height at the front. What are you doing? So here in track pace now, it has something known as drag race, wherein it lets you launch the car to time it. So Mercedes will do this for you, which is quite unbelievable, because the lights, they glow here like a proper drag race setup. So that's something we will witness right away. And oh my god, I can feel every bit of the road, even the rumblers I felt in this car. That's how bad the ride quality is. It's more compliant when compared to before, but yeah, it's still very, 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 very stiff. So here I stop. To start the measurement, please drive off or press this button. So we're just going to launch it and see how fast it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. And I'm going to check whether Mercedes' timing is more optimistic or whether my timing here beats it or not. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, race start, and off we go. Okay, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.3 seconds there. Yeah, forget the weather, just tell me the timing. It says 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.3 seconds there. So yeah, quite accurate. Show me the analysis. Let me see how all this went. So it tells me in how many meters I've done it. What a car! This is not a car, this is a freaking gadget. I know many of you are like, yeah, the Ford EcoSport also had all this. Not the EcoSport, sorry, the Mustang had all this. Yeah, but yeah, it's so fantastic. Unbelievable fun. So it's telling me the drive mode here, which is fantastic. Anyways, quickly back to the e-performance. So the e-performance is very much needed, because I honestly feel, I turned on the AC, I think, I honestly feel that there was a big mess up by Mercedes by not offering more power. This car needs more power to really feel crazy, but the e-performance obviously has that much power, going from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 0.1 seconds faster than the AMG one. First thing, which is good. But the best part is that it has 13 kilometers of electric only range. So what is the power? 805 horsepower, torque 1420 Newton meters, which is absolutely crazy, making the GT63's plug-in hybrid version the fastest accelerating Mercedes of all time. Unbelievable. And you want the slowest accelerating GT? Well, there's the GT43 with the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, but that one is from the A45 AMG. And it's a hybrid motor with rear wheel drive and all those things. In fact, there's a GT55 as well with a lower tune, I think 469 horsepower for this 4-liter V8 engine. It has 48 volt mild hybrid assist, which obviously is quite cool. But you know what, this car is based on the SL platform, but Mercedes is like, we have done a lot to make sure that those cars are absolutely different. Like both these cars, what have they done? They have completely tuned them very, very, very differently. Oh, the cracks and pops on the overrun, so freaking mind-blowing. So this is actually the MSA platform for these sports cars from Mercedes, but the whole idea of these cars have changed. The earlier one was more track focused. Now Mercedes is like, most people don't want to take it on the track, so we have made it more road focused. So this car is no longer the track machine which it was known to be. Obviously, there are going to be more variants of this car. There's going to be a GT63R or GTR63 or whatever, which will be more powerful, faster, and more fun as well. And that is expected in a year or two, because in the first year itself they launched 5 models of this car, which is quite bonkers. Ride is horrendous, handling is good, body control is phenomenal, and the steering is mind-blowing. Very direct, very feelsome. Oh, every time you lift off the throttle, the cracks and pops, they are just unbelievable. But I hate this. Come on, just change it, Mercedes. It's so difficult to use this. Yeah, not the best system as such. But anyways, it's the time to do the brake test, because it has got good brakes. So here, step on the brakes. This is one of the very few cars I have driven wherein the brakes are in another league only. Usually what happens, no matter the car, Porsche or Ferrari or anything, you step on the brakes, the tires, they screech, the ABS pulsates. Here none of that happens. No tire screeching, no ABS pulsating, just sure footed stopping power. Absolutely unbelievable. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.1 seconds. There, verified Mercedes' claim. Yeah, this is damn freaking quick. So what you can do is alter a lot of things. There are 6 drive modes. You can alter the drive modes from here. So there is obviously a snow drive mode, slippery. Then there's individual, which lets you configure a lot of things. There's comfort, there's sport, sport plus, and there is race mode. So what can you change? You can change the drive. I have to do that in individual actually. So you can change the drive from being reduced to moderate, sport, dynamic, and race. Same as with the suspension, comfort, sport, or sport plus. And dynamics, they can be I am working on this. How can you shut it? So rude. Basic, Advanced, Pro and Master. That is so freaking cool. For Master, I think you have to turn off traction control. So those changes need to be done in order to basically extract the best out of this car. And then obviously you can decide on active aero, you can decide on the ride height, only at lower speeds, that is. So many things to configure in this car. Absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah, I'm just going to stop and we are going to get going after cooling ourselves a bit. Okay, I'll take it easy because a lot of rumblers all around and a lot of traffic as well. So let me change the cluster mode. Oh, it always puts me in the wrong one. What am I trying to do and what's happening? Anyways, what is the Pro? So this being the Pro model obviously has a lot of differences. For starters, now they have made extensive changes to the chassis as well as the aerodynamics. So they've refined the aerodynamics to a great extent. This car actually has something known as active ride control with active roll stabilization, wherein okay, I'll explain that in a bit. So a lot of changes on that front. So I'm just going to shift to a higher gear and show you that it performs really well even in higher gears because the gearbox is just mind-blowing here. So what do we have here? Standard rear wheel steering is there. Then the aero package has been revised of this car. It has got carbon fiber air deflectors at the front. It has got a fixed rear wing, so you can't change that. It has got additional radiators for better cooling, carbon ceramic discs obviously for better braking, and it also has reduced lift. Because of better aero baits, you know, the lift at the front axle is reduced by 30 kgs and at the rear axle by 15 kgs, which is considerable. And obviously, along with all this, this car has got better stability because of all these changes and more power as well. So they have used lightweight materials like aluminium, steel, magnesium and carbon fiber reinforced plastics to keep the weight in check. They failed miserably at it because this car still weighs 1950 kgs, which is a lot. It's a heavy car. But the underbody panel and the cross braces and all have been designed to strengthen the car even further. In fact, the aero profile has been inspired from Formula 1. They use something known as the Venturi effect. Now, if I keep explaining all this to you right now, this video is going to be 3 hours long. So I'll just stop here and do what I do best, which is give it the beans. Put on the brake, right from the accelerator, race start. 0 to 100 in 3.21 seconds and the seat belt is like totally inside my shoulder right now. Anyways, this car is 200 kgs heavier. Now there it is telling me someone is in my blind spot. Oh my god, the ride is so bad. Yeah, so 200 kgs heavier when compared to before and 250 kgs more for the e-performance because of the hybrid battery obviously. Now it has got AMG electronic limited slip differential, which is on the rear axle. Steering is light, it weighs up beautifully well at high speeds. Dynamic engine mounts are standard, by the way. AMG active ride control, adaptive dampers, all those things obviously make a huge difference to the character and the drivability of this car. In fact, this is 18% higher in terms of torsional rigidity, but Mercedes has done away with anti-roll bars here. Instead, it has got hydraulic cross-link dampers, which is similar to the McLaren 750S, and it's also similar to what the G-Class got a few months back with the updated model, resulting in amazing ride and handling balance. Just look at the way it goes around corners. Feels so damn freaking amazing, but it's not that hardcore as the previous generation model. It's softened up a bit. It's not something which feels like a sports car. It feels more like a GT car, something which is good to cruise at high speeds, but yet the ride quality does not support all that in India at least. Well, you might know this car better as the safety car in Formula 1, but what they have really done is repositioned it to make it more usable, less cramped, more spacious, because that's what customers wanted. Not really a track-focused car anymore, but the GT63 Pro is actually track-focused. So what exactly is happening? I'm a bit confused here. In fact, I was wondering that someone was telling me that they made the car narrower because people were complaining they're not able to drive it on most of the roads. It's just too wide and all, which I don't think is true. But there are two variants of this car. There's this GT63 Pro, which is the higher variant, and there's the lower variant, which is just the regular GT63, which is priced at rupees 3.77 crores on road Mumbai. To put it into perspective, it's still quite expensive because the Porsche Carrera 4 GTS, the one which is the T-Hybrid, it actually is costing 3.29 crores, so it's much cheaper, and the turbo is just 30 lakhs more than this one. I'm talking about the 911 turbo, and the turbo is a different car altogether in terms of performance, speed and whatnot. And now with hybrid assist, it's absolutely mental. The thing here is there's no hybrid assist. I mean, that 48 volt system is okay, that's for the whatever, but the point here is that this is pure internal combustion engine goodness, and that's one of the major reasons why the GT63 Pro is still the one to buy. I definitely would not recommend that you go and get the, which one? Yeah, the GT63 I would have run because the Pro adds so much more now. Obviously, it costs more as well, but it's completely worth the money. By the way, the SL55, which shares a lot with this car, including the platform, is priced at rupees 2.94 crores. All of a sudden, that looks like a bargain in comparison. So I'm just going to do what I do best, cross the speed breaker like this. Now the drivers of this car, obviously the 911, the Aston Martin DB12 and the Ferrari Roma, and I think Ferrari keeps coming up with newer entry-level models all the time. The first generation model of the AMG GT came in 2014. It was on sale for a long time because it got discontinued in early 2023 and late 2023. After 11 months of no AMG GT, there was the new generation model, the second generation model. You know what, they actually discontinued it in India 5 years back. So yeah, 5 years no AMG GT in India, which is very disappointing. But to sum it up, this is a car which I think Batman would love to drive, yeah, because this is like a Batmobile. Absolutely scintillating performance. I just wish it was faster, but then there's obviously the GT63 e-performance, which gives you all that and more. A downshift so aggressive, mind-blowing. I don't know what happens. I always come back to this particular cluster mode. I love it. Anyways, race start. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.12 seconds. So consistent in that regard. What a car. Absolutely mind-blowing. I love Mercedes, I love AMG, and I love the AMG GT, and this GT63 performance is something I am definitely sure I'll love it more than the e-performance, because even though the e-performance is faster, it's heavier. This is also heavier when compared to before, but it's so polished, so refined, an absolute joy to drive. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.